Vanessa with the Hobby Studio, and today we're going to show you how to paint this really cute welcome floral sign. So you're going to start with any size canvas that you want, and then you're going to paint it a solid background color. I've just been using my craft paints, like the little dollar ones, but you can use whatever acrylic paint you want. So we're going to start off with our floral bouquet. So when you're doing a floral bouquet, try not to overthink it. It's just basic shapes, and you're going to be blending the paint. So I'm going to start off with a pink rose, and so I'm going to dip into my pink paint. And when you do a rose, you kind of just start off in the center and make like the basic shape. And don't be afraid to use a lot of paint, because we want our paint to stay wet for a little longer, because we're going to go in and add white next. Okay. So once you're satisfied with the size of your flower, then you can go in with your white paint, and you don't even have to clean your paintbrush off. You could just dip straight in from the pink, and because we want it to blend. So in between the petals that you painted, we're just gonna go white and kind of just start from the inside out and just fill in the gaps. You can dip into more white if you need to. And it's okay if the paint blends. It's kind of the effect we're going for. They're a little bit more abstract. And you can make your bouquet with however many flowers you want. You can make it all roses if you would like. I'm going to try a couple different flowers just to show you some variety. And so I'm going to clean off my brush now. And then we're going to go for let's stick with the rose. Let's do the blue rose next, and then we'll go for the other flowers, just so you have the rose down if you want to add just roses. And so I have this in the center. I'm going to write welcome right here, so I'm going to leave a little bit of space. So I'm going to put my blue rose maybe up, like diagonal from the pink rose. And it can be as big or as small as you want. So with the pink rose, I started from the inside out. You could also start from the outside in if you would like. So that's what I'm kind of doing right here. And like if you start from the outside in, the benefit to that is that you will already know the size of your flower. And so here we go. So same technique as the pink one though. You're gonna leave a little bit of gaps. And you can use a lot of paint with this one too, because we're gonna be blending. And so after you're done, you can dip into the white, and we're just gonna fill in those gaps. This is a really fun project. I think it's relaxing because you don't really have to think too much about it. You can kind of just place the flowers wherever and just paint. So it's pretty relaxing. Okay, so there are 2 roses. Oh, sorry about the phone. We're not open, but okay, so how about we start with, so we did these 2, we'll do this one next. We'll go in a diagonal, and then we'll fill in after that. So I'm kind of doing a little posy petunia type flower. And so I'm going to dip into red next. I cleaned off my brush since using the blue and the white, so we're just going to dip into pure red. And I'm going to put that flower right here. And I'm kind of just going to press and pull, and then do the same on this side, and then connect the 2 ends. So that's going to be our petal. And so I'm going to make 3 of those. And then the same up here. And so I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to that. So we're going to dip in with our red, and we're just going to get a glob of yellow, and I'm just going to press and pull the same way. And I want my yellow to be saturated, so I'm going to dip in every time that I paint a petal. I'm going to dip into the paint. And so this is our posy. So we're going to let that dry a little bit before we add the center. So we're going to move on to, let's do our, which one should we do? Should we do our yellow daisy? Yeah, let's do our yellow daisy next. So we're gonna put, and if you splat, it's okay. You can just wipe off the water. So we're gonna do our yellow daisy next. So So I'm gonna clean off my brush because I want it to just be yellow. I don't want any red streaks in it. And so I'm gonna dip into my yellow. Maybe like if you got a little yellow, red paint in your yellow, you could just add more or go to the side. And so when I do that, I'm gonna add it to the bottom of these. So I'm gonna bring it down and up. Remembering to leave a little bit of space at the bottom so I can add my words at the end. We're gonna go down and up, and we're gonna fill in. And then again, down and up. And for this one, I added a little bit of white because I wanted it to be a more of a mellow yellow. So I'm gonna dip into white, and I'm just gonna like kind of add that towards the center and pull down, so it kind of blends with the paint and leaves a little bit of the white showing, just so it looks like a highlight on the flower. And then I used white as the center as well, so kind of do like a little half circle since the blue one's covering your yellow flower. Okay, so our bouquet is almost complete. The last one we have is our little red daisy. So again, I'm going to clean off my brush, and we've just been using the same brush. I've been using this round brush, but you can use a flat top brush too if you like. It all works the same. And so yeah, so we're going to do our red one next. So over here, kind of in between the red, the pink and the blue flower, we're going to start same kind of thing, just a little skinnier. So we're going to do skinnier petals on this red one. So it's just going up, and when you go down, you kind of stick closer to the same line you made. So we're going to go up and down again. This one might have a little bit more petals than that last one just because it's smaller. So just make as many petals until you fill in the gaps. And so for this one, I did a blue center. So just dip into the blue paint, and again do that like half circle thing, and just fill it in. And so now we're just gonna do our little fillers. So you can add little tiny flowers if you'd like. That's what I did. So I kind of just same technique as the posy. I kind of just made them like 1, 2, 3, 4, like tiny little. And you can switch colors. So I think I did. Well, we can do whatever colors you want. So I'm gonna do a pink one next. We'll do the pink, maybe. Let's do it next to the blue. So I did that, and then we'll do a blue one over in the corner where our red flowers are. Do that. And they could overlap too. If you're worried about them blending, just wait for whichever flower to dry first before you go in and add. The fun thing about this though is you don't have to wait for paint to dry, so you can do a bunch of these. You can make a whole bouquet. Okay, so now I'm going to add my centers. So I'm going to add a yellow center to this posy. Oh, yeah. You see what I mean? You can wait for it to dry. If you don't, then you do run the risk of it blending, but I don't think it looks bad. I think it just adds to the effect. Okay. So let's see. Let's do blue centers for these ones. So blue and blue. And then for our blue flower, we can do a red center. Okay. Okay. And so after I did that, I kind of added these little leaflet things to balance the bouquet a little bit more. So I did it in white, but you can do it in any accent color you want. But they kind of just start off with, so whichever space is left on the sides, that's where you're going to start it. So I kind of just started it with a stem, and then I pulled out the leaves, and then I kind of alternated the leaves up until it ended up as tall as I would like it. So let's make ours maybe that tall. So we'll make it that tall. And so we'll do the same on the other side. So this is the, yep, so the same, just go up, pull it up, pull it up. So it's kind of in a curve, so it frames the flowers. And there we go. And so for this one, I did add a little bit of black, so it looks kind of like a shadow. You don't have to do that, but if you would like to, you're just gonna take a little bit of black on your brush, and you're just gonna go on the outside, so you don't even have to touch the paint. And so I kind of just went leaf by leaf until I reached the top, and then I did the same for the other side. So you're just gonna start at the bottom and then go leaf for leaf. And it could be as subtle or as thick of a line as you would like. And then I kind of did a little bit of a black outline for some of the flowers just to add a little bit of definition. You don't have to, but I think it adds some contrast. And then down here, I will leave it up to you. You can put welcome, you can put a family last name, your name. It's your bouquet of flowers. So that's it. This is Vanessa from the Hobby Studio. Thank you and stay safe.